letting one of you take the burden of the new intervention logic.
Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to start this session with some information which might be useful for you to construct your project and to get a bit more into this, the novelties of this programming period. So our presentation focuses on, as said by Victoria, on one of the novelties of this programming period, which is the intervention logic. So our idea is to provide you with details on this tool as such, but also to get into the specificities of the intervention logic of our program. So, concerning the contents of this presentation, instead we will start with a brief context and background information, then explaining to you a bit more which are the details, the elements and characteristics of programs intervention logic in Interreg, and then we will get into detail on the Italy-Croatia intervention logic, how it looks like and how it can be helpful for you to construct your project. So the fundamental context we need to start from, as you said, as you heard also yesterday, is the Cohesion Policy 2014-2020. As you know, this is one of the, I would say, the main investment policy of the EU. It is composed by three European Structural and Investment Funds, ERDF, ESF, and CF. And it has the aim, it contributes to the delivery of the EU 2020 strategy goals, like other union policies. The budget of the cohesion policy is around 250 billion, and it has two main objectives. One of these objectives is the European territorial cooperation. Interreg, European territorial cooperation, is involving 107 programs in total, among which we have 60 cross-border cooperation programs. We are one of those. The budget of Interreg is amounting for circa 3% of the whole cohesion policy, so it's not a big budget in the whole envelope, but still we want to make the difference with this 3%. Interreg programs are profoundly tackled by the novelties of the current programming period. Maybe it's worth to be mentioned that there is a stronger focus on results. So you have heard also yesterday result orientation programs, and we will see later on what this has to do also with your projects. The simplification in order to have less burden on beneficiaries, and the thematic concentration, so the idea to concentrate resources on a limited number of priorities. So as said, Interreg programs are part of this result-oriented policy to better contribute to Europe 2020 strategy. They thus need to shift, like other programs, from a focus on the absorption of funds, as it was maybe more in the past, to a clearer articulation of the results. So the work that has been done by the programs in the current programming period to really focus on results, on changes, is really a big work, and you will see also what we have done in our program. There is also the need to adopt a result-oriented approach, which is based on the theory of change, of what we want to change in our territories. And in order to contribute to all this framework you have heard about, Interreg programs also use this more strategic way of setting up their intervention, which is called the intervention logic. So the intervention logic has to start from the analysis of the territorial needs. This is an absolute need that all the programs have to analyze and have to carefully take into consideration before starting programming their intervention, their action on the territories. Interreg programs need the intervention logic to plan what they intend to achieve and change in their territory. This intervention logic really helps them to do that. The intervention logic is composed by different elements which are intertwined, And last but not least, shall be mirrored, have a correspondence in the project intervention logic. And we will see this in particular in the afternoon when we will talk about your projects. So which are the characteristics and the elements of the program intervention logic? We start from the thematic objective on the top right, and these are given by the regulations, and these have to be selected according to the needs of your territories, of our territories. So this is a selection which is made by the programs according to the needs they have to meet at territorial level. The thematic objectives are translated into investment priorities, and these investment priorities correspond to specific objectives. The thematic objective at the same time correspond to priority axis, and for each priority axis you can have more than one specific objective. So specific objectives are the they really reflect what the change, what is the change that we want to make, that we want to see in our territories. And per each thematic area, so per each priority axis. To be mentioned here are also the indicators. We will talk a lot about indicators in the afternoon because this is really important for you to understand very well what we expect from the projects. And result indicators, as you see on the bottom of the slide, are those that capture the change, which is sought by the specific objective, while outputting indicators, they reflect the activities of the priorities. So this is roughly the scheme of the intervention logic of the program, and this is how we constructed ours. So I will just hand over to Marilanda to explain to you a bit better about the Italy-Croatia intervention logic.